guys, and welcome back to another video. So I recently just fell in love with this OC, and I've even come up for a name for her, which you'll see later on in the video, but I'm very excited. So I wanted to make a video on my opinion on this topic. A lot of people want to know how to fall in love with their OCs, especially when they are struggling with making one that they can latch on to. My opinion on this would be that you just need one good art piece that you feel good about of this character that makes it a lot different. I was struggling a lot with this OC in particular. I was struggling on her design and what I wanted her to look like, and personality wise I still haven't really decided on a lot of things. But once I got this design down, I've absolutely fallen in love with it, especially after this piece that I'm drawing in the background of this video. It takes one good art piece to fall in love with a character. I will stand by that stance. One that you can enjoy personally. It doesn't matter skill level. As long as you like it and you are obsessed with it, then you'll fall in love with it naturally. Now, for this character in particular, what really helped me was going on Pit Crew, actually. I was having so much trouble on her design and just trying to find a way to make it cohesive and not all over the place. So I went on Pit Crew and messed around on a really beautiful person's Pit Crew that they made. I'll put it up on the screen now. If I'm being completely honest, I don't think I would have come up with my OC's hairstyle without this Pit Crew. I was struggling a lot, and I mean a lot, on that aspect in particular. Originally, I wanted her to be a redhead. That's besides the point. I think she would have rocked it, but I don't think it would have been the same, if I'm being honest. And in the start of this speed paint in the background, I should mention it now, you'll see me struggle a lot at first. I am in really bad art block. So I'm just gonna just ignore my struggling. I want to keep it real with you guys. When I'm struggling with art block and when I'm not, and when I'm struggling with it, you'll see me not post as much as when I'm not. So yeah. If you guys want to see more of my content or just my art and not me rambling on about shit, I would recommend checking out my TikTok page. It's at GoreLover08 on TikTok. Pretty simple. Go check me out. I have posted videos of the art pieces on this, and you usually get to see my artwork beforehand, as I usually post as I'm working on a piece. So you'll get spoilers from my YouTube videos if I do post videos on that artwork. You'll also get a lot more Nanashi content if you're somebody who loves Nanashi as much as I do. So yeah, I was really struggling with the pose. I knew for this piece in particular, I wanted her to be eating. I just wanted her to be eating. I don't draw food often. I wanted an opportunity to draw food, and I also wanted to show that she is a curvier girl. I don't think I got to with the pose that I ended up with and referencing, but that's fine. I was also going to make her eat a burger because I just tried a cheeseburger, a smash burger in particular, a smashed cheeseburger, and it was bomb as fuck, and I don't like cheeseburgers, so that's besides the point. You can hear me ramble a lot. I don't script my videos because I have ADD, and my brain just works way too fast to script, and I find scripting very boring, but I can write I can have bursts where I want to write a lot. I have those a lot. I feel like you can tell in my content because I don't really edit my videos a lot, especially not as much as I'm doing in this video in particular. That I just go with the flow and I try and be as authentic as I possibly can. So I hope that is noticed. Originally I was going to make her hold like a sandwich, but this pose just wasn't working out. It felt too stiff, and yeah, maybe if I tried more on it I could get it to work, but I just wasn't feeling it. I kind of had to force myself to get into drawing this because I wanted to draw her more often. but you can tell when I don't want to draw something, my brain just completely shuts down and forgets how to draw completely. I was kicking my ass half this time trying to figure out this pose. There's a lot of cutout bits of this because I forgot that I was recording initially, of me just going back to Pinterest and doom scrolling for like an hour. I'm not even kidding, it was like about an hour in total of me doom scrolling to find a pose for this character. I almost said her name. I want to say her name so bad, but I've already edited a segment with her name in like a really pretty font that I did for her. I love her. I want her to be more moon based, like a moon aesthetic. I don't know why, it's just moon and stars I really want her to coincide with, and really have her have like a deep fascination with moon and stars. And that's just something that's come after I've designed her. Initially, I don't know how I wanted her to behave in particular, and I still don't. I have a couple character inspos for her. I do have a voice claim for her, and it's Lottie from I could hear her as Lottie from Princess and the Frog. Just that accent and that tone, I feel like it's so her. I feel like she would sound exactly like Lottie, even if not just like a slight bit deeper than Lottie's high-pitched voice, if you know what I mean. Just like a deeper pitch, just like slightly, not exactly as high energy, but about the same. Because I remember when I was drawing this, I just randomly got stuck in my head, Tia, Tia, Tia. I got that sound clip stuck in my head, and I love Princess and the Frog. It was one of my favorites growing up. I loved Lottie, and I loved Tiana. I loved Tiana mainly because she was like the only princess that didn't need a prince and didn't want one in the beginning. Especially, I felt like I really liked that as a kid because I did not like the princess at all. I had no passion for the princess. I'd get like the little coloring books, the princess coloring books, and I would only color in the princesses, and once all the princesses were colored in, I would abandon the coloring book. I would legitimately look at the males and the princes in the coloring books, and I'd say, I wanted princesses, not these fuckers. Get them out of my princess coloring book. I hated them. I had beef with them, and I don't know why. Now, I don't draw men often anymore. Usually the only time I do draw men is when I'm working on Kai Orchard, which is another OC I have. He is my autistic OC. I love him. I'm still working on his story, which is Comfort Zone. This story for this OC is called, I think I mentioned it in my last video, but I'm going to mention it again because I know people have not seen that video. But it's going to be called The Villainess Doesn't Want the King. I feel like that's the perfect title for this story, and it's also an isekai story. I just like the trope of isekais. I know that there's a lot of plot holes in it, especially when it's a romance isekai that a lot of people have problems with, especially if the characters grow up together, because the mental age and the ages get like confused because your character's from a different world. So I wanted to avoid all that by making her an adult and not showing her as a kid. I feel like in this isekai storyline, she's going to reincarnate in the villainess's body as an adult at the same age as her. I also want to do something similar, which is what you're gonna see on the upcoming OC inspo tag flashing across the screen in a few minutes here. I also want to do something similar to a different story where she is a part of the story in a more soul-based sense, and she's not just plopped in there randomly. Maybe there was a time rift where she accidentally split across and merged into a different body and ended up having a completely different life there, whereas she was originally the villainess of the story. I feel like something like that is a little overdone, but I feel like it'd be so cool, and I'd love to write it. I love isekai stories. They hold a dear place in my heart. I just love them. I love second chances in stories, especially when a character's had a really fucking shitty life, and they merge into this new one and have to avoid a lot of these plot holes, but end up having like people that are obsessed with them. I have a rough idea for this one. I hate in isekais when they make the original story's MC, who is the original heroine of the story. I hate when they make her rude and bitchy. Can't women get along? What happened to Girls Love Girls? What happened to Girls Love Girls? What happened to Girls? Please. I see this a lot, especially in I Thought It Was Common Possession. I love that the main character wanted to be friends with Reese, and that Edith wanted so badly to be her friend and avoid like the plot points and stuff, but it turns out that, spoiler alert, Reese didn't want to be her friend. I hate that because they could have been besties. Please. So I want to do something not like that. I want her to become like completely obsessed with the main heroine, and I kind of want her to end up in a poly relationship. I want her to end up in a poly relationship, okay? I love giving my characters and giving them reps to more communities, and I feel like a community that needs a lot more rep is the poly community. I never see a lot of poly characters. I want her to be poly. So she's gonna be poly. I'm so excited. I have a little bit of an idea for her personality, and you'll see that specifically with the novels that I'm inspired by for her character. I keep talking about it and it hasn't come up yet. I'm so excited to share it. I'm like a big mouth. I never know how to keep shit to myself, which is wild. I wish I could, because then keeping secrets would be fun, but they're not, because I can't shut up. I'm the type that will watch a movie, get really excited about it, and want to see your reaction, but then end up spoiling it halfway through on accident because I can't shut up. And I know it's bad, and I know people hate that, but I can't help it because I get way too excited. And I want to ramble about it because I love it so much. I really do. I love her eyes, and I remember drawing her eyes and thinking specifically, okay, don't get attached to her eyelashes. They're gonna be covered up by her hair, quite possibly they're gonna be covered up by her hair, so don't get attached. I got attached, and I ended up making it to where her hair doesn't go on my favorite eyelashes. Anyway, I also wanted to do like the squish face bit. I wanted to exaggerate that quite a bit and have her like actually pressing on her face. I love the squishy little faces. I love them. I also like when stories have like the little chibis. So I want to have chibis for her, and I want to have chibis for Nanashi now. I need to make Nanashi as a little chibi character. It'd be so cute. I also give those characters vitiligo. Gorgeous. Okay, I don't know why people give people with vitiligo such negative comments. They're fucking gorgeous. I did notice that I sent an image of like the work in progress to my Nana, and yeah, you can see me looking at that and seeing that I accidentally was drawing on the image layer, so I had to work around that. You'll see what I do after that, but back to the story. I sent this image of it in like a different work in progress state, and she saw the bit of vitiligo on her nose and says, oh, that looks like one of those sleep strips. Does she have a sleep strip on her nose? I'm like, why did you say that? Because now that's all I can see. But I love it. I wish I was more artistically inclined, and I could make little, like, rose petals out of her vitiligo, like I've seen a lot of other people do with vitiligo patches. I think that would be gorgeous, but alas, for another character in the future, maybe. I have drawn characters with vitiligo before, but it's been a long time. A lot of why I wanted to make a black OC is because, one, black people are gorgeous, and I don't draw them nearly as much as I should. I love drawing black people. I love them. They're so sweet half of the time. They are so sweet and they're so kind, and they are just gorgeous. And gold works so well on their skin complexion. And tell me why I could not work a bit of gold into this character's design, because she's supposed to be blue. Her color scheme is blue and blonde with a bit of green, so I couldn't work the Nanashi gold into it, and I'm calling it Nanashi gold because Nanashi rocks that gold. But I wanted to tie in some gold to her design, and I couldn't. So maybe in a future dress design for her, she's gonna have gold, and people are gonna be like, oh, this does not work with her hair color at all. It doesn't work with her hair color at all, which sucks. It sucks. Originally, I was gonna have her holding a little burger, but I couldn't figure out her arms and what her hands were doing and how to draw the actual burger. So I scrapped it. But I think it was for the best. I think it was definitely for the best. I'm rambling about random shit. I'm rambling about random shit. Y'all, if anybody's made it to this point in the video, put lettuce in the comments for me. Just so I know. Give me the validation, please. I need it. I was gonna make it like a double burger because those are conventionally gorgeous. I don't know why, but like the food looks so good in images, even if I would not eat it. Like, tell me why natto looks like it would be so fucking tasty. Natto looks tasty. And then I found out that it was fermented soybeans, and that apparently it's an acquired taste. And I'm a picky eater, so I'm a picky eater with sensory issues and texture issues. Like, I can't eat rice because of the texture, which I feel bad about, but I can't eat rice because of the texture. So if I can't eat that, I probably won't be able to stomach natto, which is sad because natto looks so good. Natto looks objectively fucking amazing. It looks so sweet. It looks like a sweet treat. It looks kind of like really, really sticky Rice Krispies in a way. I remember seeing natto and thinking, oh, that must be like some kind of sweet dessert. Quickly found out like a week later that it wasn't, and my dreams were crushed. I don't give my characters moles often. I mean, Nanashi has a semicolon mole on her shoulder, and this OC has a few moles on her as well. She has a mole on her lip, she has two moles on her shoulder, and then she has a mole underneath her eye. Could possibly give her more moles because they're gorgeous and they're beauty marks for a reason. They're called beauty marks for a reason. Tell me what, I was struggling with this hand so much. You see me pull up the original reference and trace down one of the fingers because I could not. I gave up. I could not. It was just one of the fingers that I traced directly because I didn't know what it was doing. But usually I try and keep as different as I can from the original reference. I do feel bad, especially when I'm in art block, because I feel like the way I use my reference is a little bit too close to the actual image, and I feel like I'm just imitating instead of creating, which I kind of am. I'm not creative enough to make my own poses, and that's something that I was trying to work on in the beginning of this piece and force myself to do, and it just wasn't working. So I had to be a little less hard on myself and just be okay with it, because I really wanted to draw this character. I'm still not giving you the name yet. I think it comes in at like around 30 minutes, so in like 10 minutes you should see the name and then the character inspo. I had to get you guys involved in this video somehow, okay? Sue me. I want people to watch my content because I think that maybe I'm funny. Maybe I'm funny. I highly doubt I'm funny. I'm more rambly and chaotic and just why? Why do I do the things I do? I feel like I'm more along that lines than funny. I don't think I have a good sense of humor. I mean, as a kid, I would repeat the same joke over and over, and it would always be a knock-knock joke, because I'm unoriginal and I couldn't think of my own jokes and puns. So maybe I'm not suited to be a YouTuber. Maybe I should just stick to the art. I noticed, like, after I merged down my hand, that her thumb had a line through it, so I had to erase that. It pissed me off. And then her shoulder looked weird, so I had to fix that. I had to fix her shoulder. Medieval style dresses. Another tangent. Medieval style dresses are so complicated to draw. Can I just say, and for this character, I'm gonna have to draw her in dresses a lot, because that's all women were allowed to wear, other than riding pants, if they were riding like a horse. I hate drawing dresses, and I'm making a character where all I can draw her in is dresses, unless I'm drawing her pre-reincarnated self, then which I can draw her in comfy clothes, which was the original idea of this drawing. It was the original idea to draw her pre-reincarnation, but no, I couldn't do that. Her hand of vitiligo on her hand was actually inspired by another gorgeous creator I saw who had a similar patch of vitiligo on their hand that they paint, and thought that was gorgeous. So I'm like, you know what? She's gonna have the same patch because it's pretty. Vitiligo is a little bit of a bitch to color and render, because I have to switch colors, so it's a little bit of a nightmare to color and render, but it's worth it. You can see me go back to the piece on the side just to look to make sure I got all the moles right, and to check if she had any moles on her boobs, because I forgot. So I did that, and then I started adding my little shady shade. I feel like this video is a great video if you just want to watch me draw and see my faces fully, because I actually remember to record most of the process of me drawing, so you can see like exactly what I do and how I do it, so that way people can replicate what I do in their own art pieces, or take some of what I do and do it in their own art pieces. I do recommend, when you're drawing vitiligo, just so you don't forget it, if you're very forgetful like I am, to actually take the color of what the vitiligo color is gonna be, and do it on the liner so you don't forget it. I started doing that so I don't forget it. It's like Kai and his white freckles. I always forget about Kai's white freckles, to the point where I'm thinking about just removing them from his design completely. I'm thinking about removing them from his design completely. Now, what I have to do with black OCs, specifically her, is I always have to find the hairline. And I could not be a barber, because look at that edge. What? I gave my girl a whack hairline. I could not be a barber. That's just living proof. I could not be a barber. But I find her hairline, and I find her full head, which usually I don't have to do for any like white OC that I draw, mainly because I don't have to be as intentional with white OC hair as I do black hair. Black hair is complicated, and you gotta make sure it curls. I mean, you can have them in wigs. I could make her wear a wig, but I did not. I wanted to actually practice drawing curls, and my goal is with drawing her to get better at drawing black hair. That's the goal. If I get obsessed with her, which I am already, if I get obsessed with her to the point where I'm drawing her as much as I draw Nanashi, the goal is I end up drawing her so much that she just falls in line, and I can draw her hair nice and traditional and not as loose as her curls are here. I am a person with curly hair. I should know how to draw curls. I have no excuse. I've always just hated my curly hair though, so curly hair works so well on black people. It does not work on me. It works on so many other people. It does not work on me. It works on Miss OC really well. I still had to fight the urge to look at her in a bob with the original designs. A lot of her original designs was bob. I rock a bob myself, so I think that was me trying to self-insert into this OC. A lot of the good OCs, another tip for you guys, a lot of the good OCs always have a little bit of yourself in it. With mine, I noticed that I tend to do the two little moles on the shoulder. That's because IRL, I have two little moles on my shoulder. I also put a mole on her thumb because when I was younger, I used to have a mole on my thumb. Another fun fact about her is she is set in the 1800s, roughly in the early 1800s, and Nanashi was born in 1890. So she is almost a decade older than Nanashi. I think that means that she's almost a decade older, because in what is the Demon Slayer time frame? Can't remember it, but it's like 1920. If Nanashi's born, I can't do the math right now, but it's like roughly around the 1920s when Nanashi is about 21, 22 years old. And this OC is in the 1900s, which means that she is roughly born in the late 1700s. So I'm gonna say about 1709 is when this OC has been born. I'm gonna make her an unveil. I do have an unveil, which is just Gorelover 08. I do have an unveil. Let me make her a little piece here. Title, I'll put her name, I'll put her last name. All my characters have last names. Yes. I'm not putting hashtags right now. I'll fix it later. I just want to get some stuff down. I headcanon she's roughly around 5. I want to say 5'4", 5'6", around that area in height. Let's do this together. Because my internet's not wanting to load. Of course, my internet doesn't want to load. Okay, well, I'll get back to that later. This part of the video is almost over. I know that for a fact. Once I get her hair done, it's gonna cut and we're gonna talk about her name and her character inspo as a nice little breakup. You can see me adding like more like tight curls on the outside and adding her bun. I love her hair. I just ended up taking the lazy way at the end because I was getting tired of having to draw so many tight curls. Tight curls are like the bane of my existence. And I say that with full apology because I should not have this much beef with drawing tight curls, but they're so hard. They always end up looking loose. They always look so loose no matter how hard I fucking try. And if I do them too tight, then they look weird. And they don't sit on the head right. And they look too too stick figure-esque. So I'm just going to accept that it's a learning curve and a learning process. And my phone is still loading. I gave her a little bit of crumbs on her cheek because I love... Okay, I have the thing where when people chew, it makes me highly irritated. I hate when people chew near me. I have that. Misophonia, I think it's called. I have that. But seeing, like, in art, characters have, like, a messy eater, or, like, they have crumbs on their face, or they just look like they're digging into the meal. They just look like they're digging into that meal. Eat that shit up. I accidentally ended up clearing my throat when I was doing that. Fuck. I forgot to record that process, so I just went and did it there. Okay, timestamp. And name reveal. Her name is Leona Cora. I cannot pronounce her last name. Fuck. Leona Cora. And then OC inspo would be How to Get My Husband on My Side, Death is the Only Ending for the Villainous, and For My Abandoned Dearest, and Mau Mau specifically from the Apothecary Diaries. Mau Mau specifically Mau Mau. Specifically her poison-loving, herb-loving personality. I love Mau Mau. I love her. Eat her up. I have seen a lot of people saying that Mau Mau needs, for some fucking reason, that Mau Mau needs to look older. I mean, the girl's, like, only a couple years younger than me, which is, I think in the show, like, 17, 18, along those lines, and Jinxi is 18, 19, like, around those, I want to say he's, like, around 18, and I want to say Mau Mau's only, like, a year younger than him. But people are saying that, oh, Mau Mau looks, or Xiao Mao, looks so young, like a child. I don't see it. Mau Mau's just short. I think they did a really good job, and the artist did a really good job on Mau Mau and not making her look like a child. She doesn't look like a child. Compared to the other children in the show, who are specifically meant to be children, she does not look like a child. She's just very short. Just very short. And it's rare to see in animes where the main character is short and doesn't look like a child. I will admit it. But to me, she just doesn't look like a child. I feel like you have to be very intentional when making a character look like a child. You have to be really fucking intentional, because their face needs to be shorter, their neck needs to be shorter, their features need to be a little less identifiable to when they're older. You just have to be more intentional about it in making, like, children characters. I've learned that in a couple of the drawings I used to do. I personally don't enjoy drawing children. I mean, when they're my younger versions of my OCs, sure, they're cuties, they're adorable. I just don't enjoy the process of drawing children. I don't know, I just don't. So that's why you don't see a lot of kids in my drawings. But when you do, they're adorable. Okay, they're little cuties. But I feel like when drawing kids, I'm like, it's hard because I don't want to make them look old. I don't want to dress them in, like, a weird adult way, like a lot of parents dress their kids online, which I don't like. I feel like I have to be really, really fucking intentional with how I draw children, and especially on, like, the internet. I know that it's like, like, don't post your children on the internet. That's, like, a huge thing. But I feel like that's, like, another big reason I don't draw my OCs as kids a lot. I know with Nanashi, like, I do draw her as a child in a few of my drawings. Like, I do draw her as younger, and that's just because I need to have, like, a real good idea of her background, and that's where I'm, like, writing her story, a lot of the background details about her and her family life, because it's important to her story. I feel like I have to just draw a couple scenes from them just to get like a better feel on it, you know? And sometimes a scene that you're writing just gets stuck in your head and you just have to draw it. If you're an artist and you write, you know how I feel. You just kind of have to draw it just to get it out on paper and see what it would look like, to be able to kind of visualize it and write about it. It's weird. I don't know why I'm getting into this rant. I feel like Xiao Mao or Miao Mao. I feel like she's just not an example of a short character that's drawn to look like a child. I mean, yes, she's younger. She's on the younger age, but she looks around her age. She's just flat-chested and short. Like, guaranteed y'all wouldn't have the same problem if she wasn't flat-chested. You'd see people eating up her design so much more because people love fan service. I don't know why. I mean, yeah, I like tits as much as the next person does, but really? Really? I mean, a better example of like a character in anime that looks like a child but isn't is that one mother character from that one anime that I will never touch. I don't know the name of it, but she like looks younger than her kids and she has like a whole fucking family. I mean, that's an example of it. I don't think in comparison Mao Mao falls under that category. Maybe a little bit because of her height and her proportions, maybe just like the tiniest bit, but I don't see it. I don't see it personally. I don't see it. If you see what they're talking about in her design, let me know, because I don't. Tell me why you think like that. I'm genuinely curious, because I don't see it. I'm recording this voiceover, by the way, just after I got done finishing Lenora's drawing, this one in the background, so I am exhausted. I'm exhausted, and I got a couple no-bake peanut butter cookies from Family Fare sitting right in front of me that I kind of want to dig into, but I will not. I will not torture you guys with the sound of me eating, because that's fucking torture. For the chibi, I just went like simple and messy. I didn't really fucking care about it too much. I made her cheeks like lace and like chubby. I love the design. I love chibis. I love drawing chibis. They're so low effort, and you can just have fun with them and be messy. You can be messy. I love it. Her eyes, I was able to do stuff with her eyes. I was able to do stuff with her eyes. That sounded weird. I was able to do stuff with her eyes and make them real shiny and anime-like, and that's something I would love to do in my normal art, but usually their eyes are too small, and her eyes in this piece were big, and I could do what I wanted to do, which I was happy about. And the gem in the middle of her forehead. Gorgeous. I love drawing eyes. Eyes are my favorite thing to draw. Hair is up there, and the things I like drawing. I like drawing Nanashi's hair in particular. Her hair, Minora's hair, not as much, because I can't be lazy with it. I can't be lazy with her hair. I can on the chibi. The chibi version gets the lazy hair. Her hair, I can't be lazy with it and still have it look good and how I want it to look, so I have to be very intentional with her hair, as I've been saying. I gotta be intentional with it, and I'm still in that learning curve, as I said. I need to get away from this topic because I feel like I'm boring y'all to sleep. Y'all falling asleep to this video. Hope you have it on loop. Give me the views. Give me the watch time. That's fine. Anyway, you can see me going in with the shaking. I did not know what I was doing. I feel like that one TikTok audio of, as you can see, the artist looks like they're placing intentional lines and being very intentional with their work, but no, they're just in a state called put it down and figure it out. That's not what the audio says, but I feel like I just put shit down and then blend it and hope it looks good. I feel like that's half of my art. I put stuff down, don't know why I'm putting it there, just to put it there and blend it. I hate rendering, but I love lighting. And it doesn't make sense at all because it's pretty much the same fucking thing. Same concept. You can see me try and add these like shiny bits on her nails, and I do something I would say is interesting with my character's nails. Even if they're a male character, they don't escape this. I don't know if you guys noticed with Nanashi and Takashi. That's his name, Takashi. I don't know if you guys noticed with Nanashi and Takashi and Kanade, how Kanade's nails are Nanashi's eye colors, because Nanashi was Kanade's soulmate, and that's just like a bit of lore. It does not get mentioned in the story and will not get mentioned in the story. They just paint their nails each other's color, but I feel like it's because quote unquote they're like soulmate. And originally Nanashi's nails are only Kanade's eye color, but then Kanashi dies at 17 and Nanashi's 18 at the time. She's a year older than Kanade, but then Kanade dies and Nanashi is distraught, but she keeps coloring her nails Kanade's eye color. And later on in the story, Nanashi meets Takashi, a worker at her estate, and they end up hitting it off, and he helps her a lot. He has his own trauma in his own story, but Takashi helps her a lot, and you can see that Takashi ends up later painting his nails Nanashi's eye color, and Nanashi ends up painting one of her hands Takashi's eye color. So she has one hand Takashi, the other hand Kanade, and that's how it will stay for the rest of like when I draw her with Takashi. So that's how you can like a good teller of time in that part of the story with Nanashi in particular, because if it's before Kanade passed away or before she met Takashi, both of her hands will be Kanade's eye color, which is a purple. And then after, she'll have one hand that's golden and one hand that's purple. So when I was drawing Leonis, I hope that's how you pronounce her name. I'm gonna struggle with it until I get used to saying it, okay? That's just how it's gonna be. I have the same issue with Nanashi. Anyway, Lenora, I keep wanting to say it with an accent, whatever. Her fingers are her own eye colors because she has not yet met somebody, and I have not yet made somebody for her to fall in love with. And like I said, she's gonna be poly, so her hands are going to stay a mix of colors like they are now, but with different colors. And her partners are going to have a mix of colors on their hand. I don't know how it's gonna work because she has heterochromia, so either I gotta stick with one color of her eye or both, and then have them have the other color of the other partner. It's gonna be a nightmare. I just got the song popping up in my head, and I feel like I should mention it, which is that Three-Way Kiss song from that animation trend. If I could animate, I would like bust out some other character designs for like other characters for her and just put her down with it. I just put it down with it and animate that. But I can't animate because I can't do that. I can't do that because I don't have the attention span. Yes. I'm putting on the finishing touches of this piece. I procrastinated rendering her hair so badly. But you can see me putting in little curls. I get a little lazy with it because at this point I'm tired. This is like almost 3 hours of work. Yeah. So have fun with that info. Right there. I still have to post this video, and that's gonna be a bitch because my iPad storage is not that good. It's not that good. You can see me messing with the colors. That's something I do occasionally. I've been trying not to do it as much and just relying on my normal colors, but I wanted it to have like a little bit of a blue tint, a little bit of blue tint, a little bit of a red tint, and a little bit of a green tint. And I wanted her to be a little bit more saturated, just lighting reasons. I love this OC, and this is how I fell in love with her after one good art piece. Just a little callback. I was gonna do like that one thing that a lot of artists do where they have like their character's close-up face in the background and peeking out, but I just couldn't get it to work. So I just did my signature, and that's the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Goodbye.